I've got a lot more to say about this grading job, but I want to take just a second and just be grateful for the splendor that surrounds us, especially if you live out in the country. And just be grateful for the fact I get to spend my time out here doing this. What a blessing. Hey, it's Brock here with Rock Hill Farms, and I woke up today with a great plan that isn't going to work. So if you follow the channel, you know that a couple days ago I used the Harley rake to try to even out an uneven patch of ground here to plant grass seed on it. And the plan was that we had 4 days in a row with no rain. I could stir this up, let it dry out, and then use a drag harrow and a grass seed spreader to flatten this all out and get a nice flat lawn area down here next to the pond. Well, that's not going to work because the weather changed. Instead of the first rain being on Thursday, it's now supposed to rain all day tomorrow, which is Tuesday. So this is going to be a muddy mess. It's too muddy right now. I can't drive the tractor out on it without making more ruts than I'm leveling. So what can I do about it? I think I've got higher ground right here than I do over here. First thing I need to do is get the transit level and just check the elevation of the area. I don't use this transit level every day, but there is no replacement for it when you really need to know your elevation like this. I think this was $400 or $500. I don't remember exactly, but I'll put a link in the description where you can get this one that I have. I've used it and abused it for a few years now. I've left it out in the rain, not taking very good care of it. Not bragging, that's just what happened. And works fine. So it's a pretty good product. Now for the percentage of people who don't know how a transit level works, that box over there self-levels itself and spins, throwing out a laser. This reads that laser and tells you if it's lower or higher. So if I point this at it, right now I have an up arrow, which means the spot this stick is at is lower than the spot over there. So now if I raise this, my stick's about 2 inches off the ground when it shows level. Very simple to use. So I know that that spot over there is 2 inches higher than this spot. Now I want water to run from over there across here into the pond. It's not gonna go up that 2 inches very well. But we need to check the entire area. So I'm gonna walk around and just take measurements at random points. We're coming downhill, downhill, flat, and then just slightly up. So my second plan for the day should work, which is to bring the skid loader down here and try to scrape 4 inches off of all of this area here. So now the fun part starts. If I didn't have a transit level, I could look at it from right here and see flat and then a rise over right before the pond bank. Now I've got 2 piles of dirt that need to be dealt with, and those will be handy. I'll take them over to the other side and use them on the other side of the pond as fill after I grind up the sod. And it'll actually help grass grow over there. Now ideally I would use a mini excavator to reshape this bank right here, but I don't have one. And I don't just rent a piece of equipment every time I need to do something. If I can avoid it, I want to use what I have. So I'm going to try to finish reshaping that with the skid loader. I do feel really good about the fact that we are coming downhill towards the pond now, and that's going to help finish this grading. Now my goal today is not to completely finish the grading, because it's still too wet over here. I can't smooth all this out. The goal is to get it to drain so that I can grade it later. I would say I've solved one problem and created another one, but sometimes that's how it goes. Right now what I want to do is just soften the edge right here where we come up at an angle and then bend and come across. I just want to soften that and round it a little. So the project I started off to do, which was leveling and aerating the next 50 feet past the pond, is almost back to square one because I trampled all over it and it's basically just compacted and bumpy again. But I've solved a much bigger problem. So if you were starting off with this piece of ground and said, we're gonna put a pond here that's this size and shape, this is more what the bank would look like when you were done, I believe. You would not have it come down and then slope up just a little bit. So I feel like we made really good progress. I learned some lessons about how to do the second part of this. By agitating the ground, we're opening it up so it can dry better, also so that the rain can soak in more. But we've agitated that ground, and when we get a few days without rain, I'm going to aerate this. I'm probably going to use a drag harrow, and I'm going to use a seeder, and we're going to try to get some nice grass planted down here and make this pond a beautiful feature of the property. So I appreciate you taking time to watch the video. I'll put links on the screen to a couple more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.